every day 10 minutes. الحلقة الخامسة تقريبا. Grammar Unit 1 من كتاب The Best. Okay. Having a walk I saw an armed robbery. اللي بيجي بعدها ing هتبقى while having a walk I saw an armed robbery. Okay. Number 4 I used to بعدها infinitive horse riding but now I don't. I used to go. Number 5 I was driving my car I got a flat tire. I was driving my car when I got a flat tire. At 10 o'clock last night were you studying عشان ده long action in the past. Okay. Were you studying at 10 o'clock last night? Were you studying? Okay. Number 7 all the lights out while I was getting into the flat. All the lights went out. ده short action مع long action. كل الأنوار اتقطعت وانا داخل الشقة. Went out. Number 8 do you know who the ancient temples? Do you know who built? Number 8 letter C built. Okay. ده الكلام ده في الماضي. Hearing اللي بعدها ing on hearing the good news هدى phoned her parents. On معناها بعد وتفيد السرعة. The novel into a film 15 years ago was made. دي passive past simple passive اتحولت إلى فيلم. was made. I when the phone began to ring I was leaving when the phone began to ring. أنا كنت ماشي لما التليفون بدأ يرن. was leaving. Okay. letter D. Number 12 the passenger had a heart attack the flight to London. During the flight during بعدها noun. 13 I didn't go out last night because I was doing school work. Okay. يبقى لأني كنت بعمل الواجب أو العمل المدرسي. شادي video games at 5 o'clock yesterday. The long action in the past. Okay. was playing. Okay. 15 when I saw the question I knew the answer and wrote it correctly. خلي بالك الفيرب قبل and زي اللي بعدها. يبقى هنا I knew ده كده past and wrote. يبقى and الفيرب اللي قبلها knew وبعدها wrote مش answer. knew and wrote. 16 while the maid servant was cleaning the flat she broke a vase. ده long action مع short action broke. we play football on Friday when we were younger. Okay. we used to. letter D we used to play. What when the fire broke out كنت بتعمل ايه? what were you doing? Okay. when the fire broke out. Ilham was running when she and broke her leg. Ilham was running when she fell down and يبقى and الverb اللي قبلها زي اللي بعدها broke past simple fell down past simple. Okay. I had to look for a taxi because it was raining. The long action heavily. Okay. when I was young I في verb في الباست أيوة I lived by the sea. كنت عايش بجوار البحر. This boy go with his father to religious meetings. used to. letter C اعتاد أن بعدها infinitive. Our trip هتبقى during our trip to see where we saw a lot of wild plants. نجيب محفوظ many words for his writing. received استلم أو تلقى ده بس simple. Okay. I passed the cinema yesterday when I met Rana. I was going the long action مع short action. I was going past the cinema yesterday when I met Rana. Someone knocked at the door while من غير subject تيجي بعدها ing while having my breakfast. Ali slept on the bath floor. He was having shower while here we got a past continuous while he was having shower. What you use the infinitive يبقى عايزة did. Yeah, what did you used to do 5 years ago? Did you graduate in 1982? يبقى how long ago. معلش هنا في كلمة ago مش باينة في الفيديو بس هي how long ago. how long ago ديت معناها متى في الماضي. لو عندك كتاب The Best هتلاقيها واضحة. I was writing a report. My boss came. يبقى when my boss came. When I was at school I used to do my homework at night. used to. What كنت بتعمل ايه او كانوا بيعملوا ايه? what were the boys doing while you were watering the garden. يبقى were the boys doing. أسامة later when his mother came home was writing the long action مع short action. هدى her bag while she was getting into her car dropped. ده short action مع long action. وقعت الشنطة وهي بتركب العربية. In the past shells were used to buy goods. ديت ما هيش اعتاد أن، ديت معناها يستخدم لي، ديت باسيف مبني للمجهول. شيلز الأصداف كانت تستخدم لي باي، تو بعدها انفينيتيف هنا، لكن لو ده كان شخص عاقل كان يبقى هنا ing. اوكي. shelves were used to buy goods. The plane is delayed. الطيارة اتأخرت because the police one of the passengers for a criminal while he was going through passport control. يبقى mistook هنا ده long action اللي هو was going مع short action اللي هو mistook أخطأ. I couldn't see my favorite TV series as my mother a football match. My brother عفوا. My brother was watching the long action مع short action. Was watching past continuous. He was listening carefully while they the plan to him. While they بعد past continuous were explaining. يحيى حقي first short story أول قصة له. هي لا نشرت ولا اتنشرت تبقى was established. معلش مش باينة في الفيديو، هي was established passive مبني المجهول. In 1929 يحيى حقي his career as a diplomat and he worked abroad. يبقى began his career بدأ حياته المهنية began and he worked for more than 20 years. Okay. by the time بعد past simple بعد كده past perfect. I was 27. I had saved enough money. When the boy touched the uncovered electric wire he got a shock and عايزين past simple and fell عشان and اللي قبلها زي اللي بعدها. When I saw the old man at the party I remembered I had seen the first action. شفته قبل كده. No sooner لازم بعدها لازق فيها had يعني had I gone to bed واسمها no sooner than. When I reached the car park I found out that my car had been stolen. ده كده الفيرست اكشن، ده الحدث الاولاني، العربيه اتسرقت الاول، ودي past perfect passive. I wasn't allowed to leave the hospital until I عايزين هنا past perfect. I had got better لان until قبلها نفي وبعدها past perfect. في قاعده ثانيه الانتل اسمها it wasn't until past perfect that past simple. يبقى هنا دي برضو until. Our meal we left the restaurant. يبقى having had ديت هنا having معناها بعدها تصريف ثالث. طب في هنا having بس هنا بعد تناول، فدي هتبقى having معلش مش باينه في الفيديو having had our meal we left the restaurant. hardly had the doctor examined the patient اسمها hardly when. يبقى تاني اسمها hardly when. okay. it was only when she was only when بعدها past perfect يبقى had put the baby to bed that she began to cook. had put. after his homework he watched the match يبقى had done. I found your coat you had left the house. after you had left the house. when we reached the airport we realized we had left our tickets at home. ده الأكشن الأولاني. I didn't answer the question. أيوة عايزين طالما في negative عايزين until I had read it carefully. we went to the museum we had lunch. after we had lunch. he had no sooner than bought a car than he sold it. I decided to water the trees after having عايزة تصريف ثالث planted it. had he left home then تبقى اسمها no sooner than. hardly عايزة had بعدها مباشرة يبقى hardly had we started. having عايزة تصريف ثالث يبقى having broken her leg. Sarah cancelled her trip. broken. By the time Alexander was 20 his mother had spent the first action. By the time past simple past perfect. I asked Noah if she wanted to eat something but she wasn't hungry. She had just had. يبقى ده كده past perfect برغم ان في كلمة just لان ده الاكشن الاولاني في جملة فيها 2 action. I all my lessons before I did the test. I had revised all my lessons before قبلها past perfect. هاني was over the moon كان سعيد جدا. He had passed يبقى after he had passed his final exam. after. I answered the question. I had read them carefully. after في أو as soon as. okay. it wasn't قاعدة اسمها it wasn't until. أيوة it wasn't until. I couldn't recognize my friend. I hadn't seen him for long. يبقى because I hadn't seen him for long. completing and signing the form please return it to us. يبقى after completing. scarcely لازم لازق فيها had. hardly scarcely no sooner يبقى had فين had المفروض كان تبقى had she arrived، يبقى دي غلطة منهم، دي كده المفروض had she arrived. طب لو مش موجودة هاخد أقرب واحدة did she arrive، بس لو كان دي had كنا خدناها. كريم fell asleep during the match because he had gone to bed late the day before. ده الفيرست أكشن. حسن borrowed money from Ali. He had left his money at home because he had left his money at home. The car was stolen because he had forgotten. ده الأكشن الأولاني. When we got up that morning there was sand all over the streets. There had been a sandstorm. ده الأكشن الأولاني. Walid couldn't buy a camera. The shop had shut. يبقى because the shop had shut. It was quiet when she got home. The children had gone to bed. يبقى ده الأكشن الأولاني had gone. By 10 o'clock last night. by بتدل على الباست perfect. Our plane had landed. Abdu asked which team was red because he hadn't seen. ده الأكشن الأولاني. because غالبا بيجي ممكن بعدها لو في first action يبقى first action بيجي بعدها hadn't seen. Ali ate sandwich during the game because he enough time to eat before it started. hadn't had ما كانش عنده وقت. She was unhappy because she had lost. في had lost أيوة had lost her gold chain. By the end of last year I had passed. لأن by ما يجي مع زمن في الماضي تبقى past perfect had passed. اوكي جمل كتاب المدرسة. A famous writer wrote عشان كلمة ago. I was reading a book when you phoned. We near the market before قبلها past perfect had lived. She gave it to me while I was reading. any of his books before I read this one. I hadn't read. I didn't answer the phone because I was praying. كنت بصلي. Okay, I telephoned the police after I had seen. By the time Nada arrived we had lunch. I doing the exercise when my father returned home. I had just finished. While I was playing. I once used to read. As soon as we arrived at school the first lesson had begun. بس كده معناها الحصة الأولى بدأت الأول مع إني مقتنع إن began مش غلط. had begun بس دي كده الفيرست أكشن. the film before I read the book I had already seen. before قبلها past perfect. What were you doing when I called you? You sounded very busy. كان شكلك مشغول. my own computer for 3 years before anything went wrong with it. I had while she was doing her homework. Okay, on seeing. Okay, while visiting. Okay, after the house ماله had been painted. no sooner لازم بعدها had يبقى had we heard. having بعدها تصريف ثالث يبقى having done. no sooner بعدها had يبقى no sooner had he. as my mother was exhausted she fell asleep while watching. President Sadat died. before that بيساوي after بعدها past perfect يبقى had crossed. Ahmed's car was hit by a driver who was driving. Mona didn't send the message to her father until she had written. وبكده خلصنا كتاب ذا بيست. عفوا للإطالة، وإن شاء الله ممكن يكون في مفاجأة كتاب خارجي جديد محدش يعرفه ومش مشهور لكن فيه أسئلة كويسة جدا. ربنا قدرني وأعمل لكم الإجابات بتاعته. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.